in this episode, I'm going to show you how we created this amazing dashboard. So this is an incident trend analysis dashboard, which we created from a data set. All right. So according to the project, we're supposed to create a dashboard out of this data set. Okay. And a set of requirements were provided to us, and that is pretty much, the project requirements. So these are the questions we are supposed to answer in order to draw insights, summarize information on a dashboard for users to make data-driven decisions. So to do that, the first thing we did was to quickly, have a look at our data set like this, and at a glance, there are a lot of errors in it. We can see that, the date is not in the correct date format, and we could also see that there are some spaces here and there. There are some blank rows in the data set. So what we did initially was simply to select the entire, first and foremost, we needed to make sure that the column headers are all in there, so that we could, the column filters are there, so that we could actually click on it to know if there are any inconsistencies in the data columns, right? So basically, at a glance, we can tell there are some wrong date formats in here. And also, if you click on any of the column headers, you could see that maybe there could be some duplicated entries in there, like operations is not showing correctly. There's another operations in there, and also over here we could see a lot of duplicates. So there's like a very dirty data set. Okay, so another way of trying to know the quality of the data is basically using conditional formats. So we come to like highlight any duplicates in the data set. So once we click on it, we're going to see a lot of duplicates. So the dates, we have duplicates in the date, which is normal because date can occur many times within, as we are collecting data. Incident could happen the same day and all of that. So you're gonna be you could see like duplicates with the dates, but it's not a big deal. The only thing we can look out or pick on is the wrong date format. Over here, the departments are supposed to be repeating all throughout, but there are instances where we're having some unique entries in there, which could probably imply there are typos, to them, as we can see. Also, the second column, which is the case ID, this is the main primary key for the data set, and they are supposed to be unique all throughout, indicating that every entry is a unique entry or a distinct entry. All right, so we can see that some entries have appeared twice, indicating that there's an error with the data set. And at a glance, you can see that they are literally the same type of information, so it was entered twice. Over here we have some duplicates in there, but it's acceptable because description could be the same for the same type of incident anyway. So that's pretty much it. The minor, major, they are all repeating, which is normal. The injury type and everything. So as far as this is concerned, we know there are some errors in there, so we can try to undo. And then the next thing we did was to load this to the Power Query. All right, so we loaded it to Query Editor by clicking on get the data type, the data section. We click on load from table range, so it's gonna convert this to an Excel table and then load it into Power Query. So once we do that, we're gonna have it's loaded into Power Query. So already we've done that, so let's just go to edit query and have a look at how it looked like. One thing about the Power Query is the fact that all the steps that you took to clean the data actually will all show here, right? So you can click on how it looked initially. It was looking like this, a lot of blanks, a lot of now values, dates, formats. We could see some are sort of spreading out in a very inconsistent fashion, because they're all supposed to be consistent. So quite a number of errors we could see. So we literally had to replace some values, replace some replace the null. We trimmed out some of the spaces before and after the text, and we took our time to sort of replace a lot of values. We checked on the column headers to make sure that they are all correctly spelled. All right, so by the time we were done, we had a clean data to work with. All the null that we needed to replace, we replaced them with not applicable, and then also all the rows that were blank, we literally removed them from the sheet. All right, now we went a step further to create some extra tables that we're going to use as filters within our data. So basically, after we're done, we loaded the source data to the Excel table, and then added it to the data model, and all of this we loaded it straight to the data model by creating connections only. So once we load, right, and that's what we did. Once we loaded, it created this table, this new table that is showing a very clean data set. All right, and then the fact that they all populate in here, once we click on data queries and connection, we're going to see. So all of these were added to the data model, right? The data model, including this one, except the fact that we decided to let this one populate in an Excel table. So after we were done, we went to the Power Pivot to go to manage, all right, and then we created a calendar table. So calendar table is basically for us to be able to do some time intelligence analysis. If you want to be filtering by month, we want to use a calendar table. So we created a calendar table, and then we went to the diagram view to connect all of them. So this then is the fact table. These are now the dimension tables, and that's exactly what we did. All of these are unique. So calendar is connecting to dates, or the date is connecting to dates. Incident type is connecting to incident type here, and the incident type could occur many times within this table. So the relationship is now one to many. All right, after we are done, we closed it, and then we went straight to our calculations. So all our calculations are in here. The calculations that we did was basically to calculate some of the measures or the KPIs that I want to track, right? So we just click on new measure, and then we did all our calculations. So the calculations are all in here, where we looked at the total incident, the total injuries, how many spills, how many property damage, how many near misses, and we took them out from the total incident to estimate what was the personal injury, because personal injury incidents are sort of LTI, fatality, restricted work case, medical treatment case, and first aid cases. So we did all the summation. We looked at how many percentage, what's the percentage of incidents that have been investigated. So we did basically how many have been investigated, which is this number, and then we use a divide function to sort of do the division and then present the figure as percentage. We did the same thing for human error. All right, so all of them were populated in here in a pivot table, and then we created pivot tables again for the various charts that we want to create. Like we want to create incident type sort of bar chart. We want to create injury level, severity levels in the form of a bar chart, department, location, and all of that. We did it. But the twist here is the fact that we actually created a helper column. So we use a trim function to pull the entire table in here, and then we use the highlight. So we want to highlight the maximum value. So we literally use an if function just to make sure that whenever this value is equal to this, it should present it here. If not, it should introduce this not applicable. So we did it for all of them, and after we were done, we went to PowerPoint here. So this is the wireframe that we created nicely for the dashboard. Okay, and then we copied it, we Control All and then Control C, and then we brought it into the Excel sheet. All right, and then what we did was that we literally brought all of these charts. So we created all the charts, the bar chart, we brought them here, and then we were able to highlight the highest within the charts, right? So the goal is to find the highest of the incident types, the highest of injury severity level, the highest of incident by department, the highest of incident by location, and then the highest of injury cause categories or incident cause category. And then we introduce our slices. So these slices are for the incident, the location, the department, and this is representing our dimension tables as we use them as filters within the dashboard. All right, and then we went to modify the slicer basically to clean it up, make it look nicer, let it be consistent with the color scheme and everything. So that's pretty much how we created this dashboard, and it was actually done. We did it together with the members of the community, and we were all excited. So this is something we're committed to, that every week we're going to be creating a dashboard, and we're going to be engaging our members of the community to ask all the questions they want to ask. The goal is to help all of us practice data every single week. All right, so we perfect the skill of data analytics.